Hey, what is up guys? My name is Andy. Today we have 42mm watches. Once again with the comparison of diameters, and the same diameter can look very different on your wrist, and because of certain dimensions that you can find throughout any watch. So these three watches are 42mm in diameter. So the Omega Seamaster Professional is 42mm, the Explorer 2 is 42mm, and the Tudor FXD is 42mm. So I am doing again the comparison on these watches because I think that it's very educational to know why a 42mm watch can fit better on your wrist than others, as well as other type of measurements like 38, 40, 41, so on and so forth. So I'm going to start with this two because they're the most different, and then I'm going to move on to the FXD with the Rolex Explorer 2. So why am I doing this? For you to, it's just for an educational video. It's for educational purposes. That's it. I think that we should know the measurements of other watches and why they look very different on our wrists to make a better decision while you are purchasing a new watch. Now, 42mm maybe could be too big for you, or maybe it could be the right choice for you. Who knows? It depends on your wrist and your wristband and on your wrist circumference, as well as the log-to-log of a watch and the dimensions of the case, the diameter of the case, and maybe if it has a bracelet or a NATO strap like the FXD, you name it. So I'm going to start with the Omega Seamaster Professional, and this one has a 42mm diameter case. And this watch, what is different with this two, what's different about this one is that it is 20mm in lug width. And that's why I think that this watch looks a little bit smaller than these other two. And there's another measurement that we have to consider. And this is a dive watch as this one, as the FXD, but as you can see, the dial is just a little bit smaller. And if you can see that, the Omega Seamaster Professional looks more like a 40mm, putting side by side with the FXD. Why is that? Because of the 20mm lug width, and you have a 47 lug to lug. So maybe that's why. So 47 lug to lug, you have a 20mm lug width and a beautiful mesh strap. With the FXD, you have 40mm bezel, which protrudes from the case, as you can see. Let me just focus. As you can see there, and you have crown guards as this one, but you have 22mm lug width, which is 2mm more than 20. You have 49 lug to lug, but the FXD has fixed bars, so this makes a 53mm watch from the lug to lug. So let's put down on the wrist this beautiful Seamaster Professional, and as you can see, you can actually notice the 42mm on my wrist because it's just not as small as a 40mm. But it just wears very well. My wristband from here to here is 57, and from here to here is 52. So that's why this works on my wrist. It's a 42mm watch, but the lug to lug is 47. And as you can see, the 20mm lug width makes the watch a little bit, smaller. There's not much width here as in the case. And if we go to put on the Explorer, we can see the difference right away. So this watch has a lug to lug of 50mm, but 52 right here with this male end links. So this has male end links, so it adds to the diameters of of the watch, and why this looks bigger than the Seamaster Professional. And that's why, because you have a male end link and a bracelet that is 22 millimeters. And it's a more blocky case and a 22 millimeter lug width. And now let's see and compare these two, because as you know, as they are right now like this, I can feel just by looking at them that the FXD is a little bit bigger. Why? Because of the bezel and the dial. They are the same color, so it makes the illusion that the watch is a little bit bigger because it kind of, you know, blends into the dial. Whilst this Explorer has a white dial with a stainless steel bezel. So there's an interaction between the dial and the bezel. So that's why they feel or look, this one feels or look a little bit smaller, just like this. So let's put it on the wrist, this FXD, and you can see that the FXD without a bracelet looks a little bit smaller than the Explorer 2 because this strap in the lug-to-lug is not as protruding because it doesn't have a male end link, and you cannot notice the fixed bars when the NATO strap is on. So the lug-to-lug feels a lot more shorter than the Explorer 2. So let's put on the Explorer 2 again for you to see the differences. So my wrist is 6.7 inch wrist, is at 6.7 inch wrist, and my wristband is 57 from here to here. And you can see the watch looks bigger because all of the stainless steel, you know, real estate here on my wrist feels a little bit bigger, although without putting on the watch, this one looks a little bit smaller than the FXD because of the illusion of the bezel and the dial. And well, the Omega Seamaster Professional looks a little bit smaller because this has a dial that is 1 millimeter smaller than the FXD. The opening for the dial is a little bit bigger than this one, and the bezel, the diameter of the bezel, it's 42, and it is protruding from the case, which I think that the case is 41 here on the FXD. But the thing is that this has a shorter lug to lug and has a narrower lug width. This one has a 22 millimeter lug width, and this one has a 20. So that's why it makes the illusion that the watch is a little bit smaller, and it does translate to the wrist. You know, they look kind of like similar here on my wrist. This looks a little bit smaller with the FXD. Comparing it with the FXD feels kind of like the same, but the FXD, because of the bigger opening of the dial and the bezel combined, feels bigger. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments down below if you like this kind of videos that I'm doing right now with the comparison of you know, diameters and stuff. I really like to do this because of educational purposes, and you know, it's kind of fun to notice the differences between 42 millimeter watches. These are 3 watches that feel the same, feel different, but has the same diameters. And as the last video that I upload was about the 38 and 36 millimeter watches, so they feel very different on wrist. They were very different on wrist, although they have the same diameter. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to this channel. It really does help. Please leave a comment down below if you liked this kind of videos. It really helps to know, and I want to discuss with you about these measurements and how the watches look on the wrists. I want to know your personal opinions and personal experiences with watches. So yeah, remember guys, I am Andy, and I'll be here spending time watching time.